Ladies and gentlemen, now listen here. I'm about to tell y'all something that's going to change the game. You came here for some truth, right? All right, buckle up. Let me tell you something straight. Sex ain't just physical. See, a man doesn't become addicted to your body just because of what's on you. He becomes addicted because of what's in you. That confidence, that spark, that energy you walk into the room with like, yes, I know I'm that woman. Let me tell y'all something that most people won't say out loud, but I'm going to go ahead and say it because I don't do sugarcoating. I do real talk. You want to know what the sexiest thing in the world is? It ain't curves. It ain't a pretty face. It ain't a brand new outfit with heels so high they defy gravity. It's confidence. That's right. Confidence. That unshakable, undeniable, I know exactly who I am and I love me. You walk in the room with that, baby, you already winning before you even say a word. See, a lot of women think that sex appeal is something you buy. They think it's in makeup or in a new hairstyle or in a waist trainer. And look, I ain't knocking none of that. Self-care is beautiful. Do your thing, look good and feel good. But real sex appeal, that can't be bought, copied, or faked. It's internal. It's how you carry yourself. It's the way you talk, the way you laugh, the way you sit in silence and still command attention. It's how you look at a man and make him feel like you see right through him, but you ain't pressed about him either. Confidence tells a man everything he needs to know. When a woman is confident, she sends a message without even realizing it. She says, I don't need your validation. I know I'm enough. That kind of woman, that's the one men obsess over. That's the one that sticks in his mind. Because she ain't trying too hard. She ain't begging for attention. She ain't throwing herself at nobody. She's just being her, unapologetically, beautifully, powerfully her. And that, my friend, is magnetic. Now, here's the thing. Confidence doesn't mean perfection. It don't mean you never doubt yourself, never have insecurities, or never go through stuff. We all human. But confidence means that even when you feel unsure, you still know your worth. You don't shrink yourself. You don't beg somebody to love you. You don't lose your peace trying to impress somebody who ain't even on your level. You hold your head high. You set standards. You walk away from what ain't serving you, even if it hurts. A confident woman doesn't need to be loud. She doesn't need to be the center of attention, but somehow she still is. You ever seen that? A woman who walks in the room and suddenly everything shifts, the temperature change, the energy shift, people start whispering, looking over like, who is she? She might not even be saying anything, but her aura speaks for her. That's because confidence radiates. It can't be hidden. It shines through your body language, your voice, your eyes. And men, let me tell you about men. Men pick up on that energy faster than you think. A man can tell when you love yourself. He can tell when you set boundaries. He can tell when you ain't gonna tolerate no nonsense. And guess what? That kind of energy either makes them step up or step off. The ones who ain't ready, they'll walk away, and that's good. That's what you want. But the ones who are real, the ones who see your value, oh, they'll be addicted to that energy. They'll crave it. They'll be drawn to it like a magnet because it's rare. Confidence also makes everything you do more powerful. The way you touch him, the way you speak to him, the way you show affection. When it comes from a woman who knows her power, it hits different. It's not needy. It's not desperate. It's generous. It's intentional. It's grounded. And that makes intimacy feel deep, like it ain't just about bodies. It's about connection. It's about energy. It's about two people who both know their worth and still choose each other. So if you want to be unforgettable, if you want to be that woman a man can't get out of his head, don't chase attention, don't perform, don't pretend, build your confidence, do the inner work, speak love to yourself every day, learn who you are and fall in love with that woman. Because when you love you, they will too. That's the truth. You want me to expand the next keynote? in the same tone? Let's be real about something, all right? Everybody always talk about sex like it starts in the bedroom. No, it don't. Sex starts way before that. It starts with the mind. It starts with emotion. It starts with connection. See, if you want a man to be sexually addicted to you, you got to understand that what makes a man stay addicted, it ain't just what you do with your body, it's what you do with his heart, with his soul, with his emotions. That's the real foreplay. That's the part that gets in his head and stays there. You got to tap into something deeper than just attraction. Anybody can look good. Anybody can post a sexy picture or wear a tight dress. That might catch his eye for a second, but it won't keep him up at night thinking about you. You want him to crave you. You want him to feel like no matter where he goes or who he talks to, you're still in the back of his mind. Then it's about the emotional intimacy. It's about how you make him feel when you're around. And more importantly, when you're not. Here's what most people miss. Men crave connection just as much as women do. They might not say it the same way. They might not even realize it right away. But once they feel it, they hooked. A man wants to feel safe too. He wants to feel understood. He wants to be able to let his guard down without feeling judged. When you create that space for him, when he can talk to you about his dreams, his stress, his fears, and you don't try to fix him, you just listen, you're giving him a type of intimacy that most men never get. And that's powerful. When you connect with a man emotionally, you start touching places in him that nobody else even tried to reach. He starts associating you with peace, with safety, with relief. That emotional connection becomes the thing he comes back for, the thing he needs. You become his escape, his balance, his safe space in a loud, stressful world. And once a man finds that in you, his desire for you becomes emotional, not just physical. That's when it gets real. You got to understand, ladies, emotional intimacy is the kind of thing that builds over time. It's built in those little moments when you check in on him after a rough day, when you celebrate his small wins like they're big, when you remember the things he says even when he doesn't think you're listening. That's how you make him feel seen. And when a man feels seen by a woman, he gives her parts of himself he don't give to nobody else. The emotional connection also brings depth into your physical intimacy. Sex becomes more than a release. It becomes an experience. It's no longer just skin to skin, it's soul to soul. He's not just touching your body, he's trying to connect with all of you. And that kind of connection, that's the kind that makes him keep coming back. That's the kind that makes him addicted. That's the kind that makes every kiss feel like something he never felt before. Now look, I'm not saying you got to be his therapist. I'm not saying you got to carry all his emotional weight on your shoulders. What I am saying is, if you want a man to be truly hooked, then give him more than physical access. Give him emotional permission. Let him know he don't have to be strong all the time around you. Let him feel like he can breathe around you, like he can be himself. Not just the version he shows the world, but the raw, real, vulnerable version that only you get to see. That emotional layer, that closeness, that honesty, that's what elevates the relationship. That's what separates you from every other woman he's ever been with. And the thing about men is, once they get a taste of real connection, they can't go back to surface level. They can't forget you. They can't replace you. And that's how you get him addicted, not just to your body, but to your presence, to your essence, to the you that sees the man behind the mask and loves him anyway. Would you like me to expand the third keynote next in the same style? All right, here's the thing that most women don't understand. If you want to keep a man hooked, you can't just be predictable. You can't be the same day in and day out and expect him to stay captivated. Men are drawn to mystery. Men are drawn to the unexpected. Men are drawn to women who keep them on their toes in the best possible way. It ain't about playing games. It ain't about mind tricks. It's about being authentically unpredictable, about keeping your energy fresh and giving him something to look forward to, not just in the bedroom, but in every part of your relationship. Think about it. When something becomes too predictable, it loses excitement. It becomes routine. And I'm going to tell you right now, men don't stick around for routine. They get bored. Boredom kills attraction. You ever been in a situation where everything felt like it was going in the same direction every day, and suddenly one of you started pulling away? That's because there was no spark. There was no mystery. There was no challenge. Predictability makes things stale, and that's the fastest way to lose a man's interest. But you ladies, you've got the power to change that. You've got the power to keep him guessing in a way that's fun, exciting, and full of energy. It's about doing something unexpected that he didn't see coming, but in a way that makes him think, wow, this is different, this is intriguing, this is a woman who keeps me interested. You don't have to be unpredictable in some dramatic or chaotic way, but you can switch up your routine, change up your vibe. Don't let him know exactly what you're going to say next. Don't let him predict every move you make, because that's where the fun is. That's what makes him keep chasing you. That's what makes him want to chase you. You don't have to be all over the place. You don't have to be someone you're not, but you can be a woman of depth and layers. Be spontaneous sometimes. Surprise him with a date night that isn't the usual dinner and a movie kind of deal. Take him on an adventure, even if it's something small, just to show him that you're not predictable and you're not boring. Keep the relationship fresh by injecting fun into it, by keeping the energy new and exciting so he doesn't feel like he's stuck in a cycle where everything is the same. That's how you keep his interest. That's how you stay intriguing. Now, unpredictability doesn't just come from doing things, it also comes from how you show up emotionally. If you're the type of woman who's always available, always responding instantly, always giving him the same energy and effort, he knows exactly what to expect from you. That's predictable. But if you change things up, if sometimes you let him wait, sometimes you show up with something unexpected like a new attitude or a different approach to your conversations, now you've got his attention in a way that's not easy to ignore. Men deep down want to feel like they've got to earn your attention. They want to feel like they've got to put in the work to get a piece of your time, a piece of your heart. And the best way to do that is by being a little unpredictable. Don't always give him what he wants when he wants it. Make him chase you and make him think, this woman has a lot to offer, and I have to work to get close to her. Think about the most captivating people you know. What is it about them that keeps you coming back? It's not because they're always saying and doing the same things, right? It's because there's a sense of mystery about them. You don't know everything about them. You don't know what they're going to do or say next, and that keeps you interested. That's what men want from you. They want to be able to discover you. They want to feel like there's always something new to learn, always something exciting to experience with you. If you keep things fresh and surprising, he'll never get bored. He'll stay curious. He'll stay coming back for more. Unpredictability also comes from how you handle conflict and challenges. If you're always the same, if you always react the same way to every problem or every disagreement, it gets old. But if you handle things with grace, if you stay calm under pressure and approach tough situations with a fresh perspective, that shows him that you're not just a woman of beauty, but a woman of substance, a woman who can handle herself in any situation. And that right there is incredibly attractive. So remember, ladies, unpredictability isn't about being reckless or fake. It's about keeping the energy fresh, exciting, and full of life. Don't fall into the trap of being predictable, of being the same every single day. Keep him on his toes, keep him guessing, keep him wanting more. And the best part, when you do this in a healthy, authentic way, you'll have a man who's not just interested in you, but addicted to you in a way that's real and deep. And that's how you make him want you forever. Would you like me to expand the fourth keynote next in the same style? Here's one of the most important things you got to understand if you want to make a man sexually addicted to you. Make him feel like he's the man. See, I'm not just talking about giving him compliments or telling him what he wants to hear. I'm talking about making him feel like he's your rock. Making him feel like he's capable of conquering the world, but he chooses you to be by his side. That's the power you hold, ladies, and that's what keeps a man hooked. Now, a lot of women think that to keep a man interested, they need to prove how strong they are, how independent they are, how they can do everything by themselves. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being strong and independent. But here's the thing. Men love to feel needed. Men love to feel like they are the ones who can protect, provide, and make things happen. When you let a man step into that role and you make him feel like he's your hero, your protector, your partner in crime, that's when he starts seeing you as irreplaceable. He doesn't just want you around, he needs you in his life. It's not about playing weak or being dependent on him for everything, not at all. It's about allowing him to step up and show you who he is. When he offers help, let him help. When he wants to take the lead on something, let him take the lead. Men want to feel like they're adding value to your life. They want to know that they are bringing something to the table that makes your world a little better, a little easier, or a little brighter. And when you show him that, you're not only boosting his ego in the best possible way, but you're also making him feel like the man. You've got to understand, every man wants to feel respected and appreciated. And I'm not talking about just telling him I respect you. No, I'm talking about showing it through your actions. When you listen to him with genuine interest, when you value his opinions, when you trust his decisions, he feels like a king in your eyes. That's one of the things that keeps him emotionally and sexually addicted to you. When a man feels like the woman he's with truly believes in him, truly sees him as a man of strength, a man of capability, it lights a fire in him. It drives him to be better. It makes him want to do more for you, be more for you, give you more. And let me tell you something else. The way you treat a man when he's down matters too. A lot of women think that showing respect and making him feel like a man is something you do only when he's on top of his game, when everything's going right. But the true test of whether a man feels like the man is how you treat him when he's struggling, when he's dealing with challenges, when things aren't going his way. That's when he needs you the most. And that's when your belief in him, your respect for him matters the most. When you stand by him, when you show him that even in the hard times, you're still there, still cheering for him, still believing in him. That's when you really elevate him, and that's when he becomes addicted to you, not just for what you give him in good times, but for how you hold him up in the bad time. Now, the other side of making him feel like the man is how you make him feel desired. I'm not talking about just compliments, but real desire. I'm talking about showing him that you're not only attracted to him physically, but that you value his mind, his soul, and his energy. When you make him feel like he's the one you want, not just the one you're settling for, you'll have his attention like nobody else. Men love to feel like they're the only one who can make you feel the way you do. They want to know that when you're with them all the way, 100%. And that's how you keep him sexually addicted to you. When a man feels like the woman he's with is really into him, when he feels like you appreciate his strength, admire his ambition, respect his efforts, he becomes more than just your partner. He becomes your lover, your champion, your equal. And that creates a bond that goes beyond physical attraction. That creates emotional addiction. That creates a connection that he doesn't want to let go of. And listen, let me tell you this. A man doesn't mind putting in the work when he feels like he's appreciated. He'll go above and beyond to keep you in his life when he feels like you see him as your equal, as someone you respect, as someone you admire. That kind of respect, that kind of love, it makes a man addicted to you in a way that no physical attraction can match. When a man feels like he's the man in your eyes, he will always be ready to show up for you, to fight for you, to give you his best. And that's the secret to making a man sexually addicted to you. Not by playing games, not by pretending, but by being the woman who truly sees him, truly respects him, and truly believes in him. When you do that, you'll have a man who wants to be your everything. And that's a man who can't let go of you. Would you like me to expand the fifth keynote next in the same style? Let me tell you something that most women don't understand, or maybe they're afraid to accept. If you want to keep a man truly captivated, you've got to have a life outside of him. You've got to be so full of your own purpose, your own passions, your own goals, that while he's in your life, he isn't your whole life. You can't make a man feel like he's your everything, because let me tell you, that's how you lose yourself in the relationship. And that's how you lose him too. When you have a life outside of him, when you're not completely dependent on him for your happiness, your energy, your fulfillment, that's what keeps him hooked. Now, listen carefully, because this is important. Some women think that the way to make a man addicted to them is to give up everything, to sacrifice their own happiness, their own goals, their own friends, just to be his woman. They believe that if they're constantly available, constantly focused on him, then he'll love them more. But that's a lie. You can't pour from an empty cup. If all you do is give and give and give without ever taking time to fill yourself up, without ever taking time for your own dreams, your own passions, your own friendships, eventually you're going to burn out, you're going to feel resentful, and trust me, he's going to notice. Because nobody wants to be in a relationship where one person is so focused on them that they lose themselves in the process. Now, when you have a full life outside of him, you're not relying on him to be your source of joy. You're not looking to him to validate you, to tell you who you are, or to give you your purpose. You've got your own thing going on. You've got your own friends, your own hobbies, your own career goals, your own passions. And when you have that, you become more interesting. You become more valuable. You become someone who chooses to be with him, not someone who needs to be with him. And that's the key right there. When you have your own life, when you have your own independence, it makes him want to be a part of your world. It makes him want to chase you, because you're not just giving him everything you've got. You've got your own life, and he has to work to be a part of it. And this isn't just about being busy, it's about being intentional. You have to know what excites you, what makes you feel alive, what gives you purpose. When you're a woman who knows what she wants out of life, when you have clear goals and passions that drive you, you bring a sense of excitement and fulfillment to the relationship. And when you're excited about your own life, it brings a kind of energy that's contagious. You become magnetic. And he can't help but be drawn to that. Now, let me tell you something else. When you build your own life outside of him, it actually makes him miss you. It makes him realize that you don't need him to feel complete. You're not sitting around waiting for him to text you back, waiting for him to decide when you two are going to hang out. No, you've got your own thing going on. You've got a life. And when you have a life, you make him want to be a part of it. You make him feel lucky that you've chosen him to be in it. That's what keeps the fire alive. That's what keeps him coming back, because he knows you're not waiting around for him to make your world complete. You also become a woman of mystery when you've got your own life. Think about it. When you're always available, when you're always giving him all your time and attention, there's nothing left for him to discover. There's nothing about you that's intriguing. But when you have a life outside of him, when you've got things going on, when you're not sitting around just waiting for him to decide when you're going to hang out, that adds a layer of mystery. He starts thinking, what's she doing? What's going on in her world? I want to be a part of that. And that keeps him coming back. And let's not forget something else. When you're busy with your own life, when you're focused on your own goals, you're also growing as a person. And growth is attractive. When you're working on your career, when you're advancing in your passions, when you're leveling up in every area of your life, it shows that you're not stagnant. It shows that you're always evolving. And a man who sees that is going to be drawn to you in a way that goes beyond just physical attraction. He's going to respect you. He's going to admire you. And that respect and admiration are what make him want to be the best version of himself for you. So, ladies, don't get so caught up in the relationship that you forget about your own life. Don't make him your everything. Build a life for yourself that's so fulfilling, so exciting, so full of passion that he can't help but be drawn to it. When you do that, when you have a life outside of him, you're not just keeping him interested. You're keeping yourself grounded, keeping your independence, and building a relationship that's based on choice, not dependency. And that's what will make a man sexually addicted to you. Not because you need him, but because you want him. And you got a life so full and so rich that he wants to be a part of it. Would you like me to expand the final keynote next in the same style? Let me tell you this. One of the most powerful things you can do as a woman to keep a man sexually addicted to you is maintain your mystery and self-respect. And I'm not talking about playing games. I'm not talking about being manipulative or withholding things just to get a reaction. I'm talking about having a level of self-respect that keeps you grounded and confident in who you are, and also being a woman who isn't so easy to figure out. You've got to maintain a little bit of that mystery. You've got to keep some things about yourself to yourself so that he's always left wanting more. Now, understand this. When a man feels like he has you completely figured out, when he knows your every move, knows everything about you, knows how you think, what you do, what you want, when you want it, he stops being curious. And when a man loses his curiosity, he stops chasing. He stops desiring. So if you want him to stay captivated, you've got to keep him on his toes. Keep him intrigued. Keep him wondering what's next. That doesn't mean being distant or unavailable, but it means being someone who has a little bit of depth and mystery. It means there are parts of you that he still hasn't completely figured out. And that, my friend, is what keeps him coming back. That's the thing that makes him obsessed with you. Part of maintaining your mystery is being confident in your own skin. It's about walking into any room knowing who you are and not feeling the need to prove anything to anyone, especially not to him. When you have self-respect, you don't settle for less than what you deserve. You don't beg for attention. You don't lower your standards to keep him around. You've got to have boundaries and make sure that your man knows where you stand. And when you hold your ground, when you don't compromise your integrity, when you stand tall in your self-worth, that's what makes a man respect you. It's what makes him admire you. It's what makes him want to keep you in his life. Now, a lot of women think that maintaining self-respect means being cold, being distant, or being standoffish. They think they have to act like they don't care to get a man's attention. But that's not it. You can be warm, you can be loving, you can be open, but you've got to be strong in who you are. When you maintain your self-respect, It doesn't mean you're closed off emotionally. It means that you have your standards and you are not going to let anyone cross them. It means you don't settle for disrespect and you don't let a man treat you like an option. You're a woman who knows her worth, and that's powerful. That's the kind of woman a man wants to keep coming back to. That's the kind of woman a man doesn't want to lose. Now, I'm going to tell you something that a lot of women don't realize. A man can feel when you lose your mystery. He can feel when you're giving too much of yourself away, when you're too available, when you've let go of your boundaries. And when that happens, he'll start to pull back. When a man feels like he's got nothing else to uncover about you, when he feels like he already knows everything there is to know, he stops feeling the desire to chase you. It's that chase that fuels his attraction to you. So the key is to always keep something for yourself. Don't lay everything out on the table in the beginning. Let him get to know you over time. Let him experience the layers of who you are instead of giving it all away at once. That's how you maintain that magnetism. That's how you stay irresistible. At the same time, you've got to be someone who respects yourself enough to never tolerate behavior that goes against your values. When you tolerate disrespect, when you accept less than what you deserve, you're telling him that you don't value yourself. And when a man sees that you don't value yourself, he starts to lose respect for you. And when he loses respect for you, he loses desire. So maintaining your self-respect means standing firm in your values and knowing when to walk away from something that doesn't serve you. When you show a man that you're willing to walk away, that you're willing to protect your own peace and your own happiness, that's when he starts respecting you on a whole new level. That's when he realizes that you're not just a woman he can easily take for granted, and that's when he becomes sexually addicted to you because he knows that he has to earn your time, your love, and your attention. You also need to maintain a sense of independence. That doesn't mean you have to do everything alone, but it does mean you're not defined by your relationship. You've got your own life, you've got your own friends, your own passions, your own goals. You're not waiting around for him to give you a sense of purpose. You're already complete on your own. And when you're complete on your own, when you're not relying on him to fill that void, it makes him want to fill that space for you. It makes him want to be the man who complements your life, who adds to your happiness, not the one who is responsible for it. So remember this, to keep a man sexually addicted to you, maintain your mystery and your self-respect. Be someone who isn't easily figured out, but also be someone who knows exactly who she is. Stand firm in your boundaries and your values. Don't settle for anything less than what you deserve. And always keep a little something of yourself that he has to work to discover. That's how you keep the desire alive. That's how you stay irresistible. And that's how you keep a man wanting you forever. Would you like to further explore or expand on any of the keynotes? Listen, ladies, if you want to make a man sexually addicted to you, there's something so powerful that cannot be overlooked. You've got to create an emotional connection and intimacy that goes deeper than just physical attraction. A lot of people think that physical chemistry is all it takes to keep a man hooked, but I'm here to tell you it's so much more than that. Emotional connection is the glue that holds everything together, and intimacy isn't just about being in the same room or sharing physical closeness. It's about being vulnerable, sharing your heart, and creating a bond that goes beyond the surface level. Now, I'm not talking about just talking to him about your day, your feelings, or your thoughts. I'm talking about real emotional intimacy. I'm talking about the moments when you open up in ways that make him feel like he knows you, sees you, and values you for who you truly are. Men may not always express it, but they crave this just as much as women do. They want someone they can talk to, someone who listens, and someone who makes them feel safe and accepted. When you create that safe space for him to open up, to share his thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment, you've created a bond that's stronger than anything physical. And it's that emotional connection that keeps him coming back for more. Think about it like this. When you create that intimacy, when you let him into your world, you're giving him access to a part of you that he can't get anywhere else. That's a powerful feeling. And guess what? It's going to make him crave that connection with you even more. He'll start looking for ways to connect with you on a deeper level, and not just for the sake of sex, but for the emotional fulfillment that only you can provide. That's what keeps a man sexually addicted to you. Not just because of the physical connection, but because of the emotional connection you share. But here's the thing, you can't just rely on the emotional connection to keep him hooked. You've got to be willing to be vulnerable with him. I know. It's hard. We've all been hurt, and sometimes the thought of opening up again feels like a risk. But if you want him to emotionally invest in you, you have to take that step first. You've got to be willing to let him see your true self. Be real. Let him see your fears, your desires, your flaws, and your dreams. When you're vulnerable with him, you create a space for him to be vulnerable with you too. And let me tell you, that's when you're emotionally available, it does something to a man that physical attraction can't. It makes him feel like he's the only one who truly knows you. It makes him feel like he's the only one who's earned that trust. That emotional bond strengthens your relationship in ways that nothing else can. And it makes sex so much more meaningful. When a man knows that he has that emotional connection with you, it deepens the physical experience. He wants to connect with you on a level that goes beyond the surface. He'll start desiring you in ways that are more than just skin deep. Now, I also want to point out that emotional intimacy isn't just about talking and sharing feelings. It's about how you make him feel emotionally supported. You've got to be there for him, not just when things are good, but also when they're tough. That means being his rock. That means being his safe place when the world is chaotic. When a man feels like he can rely on you emotionally, when he knows that you've got his back, he'll start investing more in the relationship. And that emotional investment, it creates a powerful bond that can't be broken. But it's not all about him either. Emotional connection is a two-way street. While you're being open and vulnerable with him, you also have to create a space where you feel supported, where you feel understood, and where your emotional needs are also met. This isn't a one-sided relationship. When you both create a safe emotional space for each other, that's when the connection deepens. That's when the bond strengthens. And that's when the intimacy becomes something that both of you crave. Let me tell you, when you're able to emotionally connect with a man in this way, you're creating something far stronger than just a fleeting attraction. You're creating a relationship built on trust, understanding, and a bond that runs deep. And that's what makes a man sexually addicted to you. Not because of the physical attraction alone, but because he feels emotionally connected to you in a way that makes him want to give more, do more, and be more for you. He won't just want to be with you for the pleasure. He'll want to be with you because of the emotional fulfillment he gets from the connection you share. And once you've established that level of emotional intimacy, that's when you start to see the magic in your relationship. The physical attraction will intensify because it's rooted in something deeper. He'll crave your touch, your presence, your voice, because he knows that there's an emotional depth behind it. It's not just about sex. It's about sharing your lives, your feelings, your vulnerabilities, and building a connection that he can't find with anyone else. And that's how you make a man sexually addicted to you, by creating an emotional connection that makes him want to be with you, not just for the moment, but for the long haul. I hope this expanded version of the 7th keynote was what you were looking for. Let me know if you'd like me to explore or expand any other aspects